Yo, welcome back. Uncensored Locks, Black Convo.
G baby.
This girl, man, we here. A wonderful day. What we here to talk about, G?
Colorism.
Colorism. That's a mouthful, honestly.
What does it mean to you?
Colorism mean to me a lot. It could mean light skin versus black skin or whatever. It could mean some people feel like when you're light skinned, when your skin is lighter, you get further in places such as Hollywood or maybe the workplace, or people see you as more beautiful because you're more light skinned, and people they see darker skin as maybe ugly or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm beautiful. I'm not grotesque. You know?
I want to dig into something you just said. Getting further and light skin versus dark skin. So we watched a few videos before we started. And there was some comments that was made about, you know, a light-skinned actor that is black,
Right.
but her skin tone is light.
Right.
How some people felt that it was wrong for her to portray a character that was a black character.
Right, she was light-skinned.
And the book version of the story, she's a dark-skinned character.
Right.
But see, my issue with that is, see, the fact that they're even putting a black person in play, and then we as black people turn around and say, okay, well, yeah, they put a black person, but look what they chose. They chose a light skin. My skin tone does not change the fact that I'm just as black as you are.
Okay.
And
But the problem is some people don't feel like that.
I understand. The way that they feel is, well, that was the next closest thing to white. I don't want to be considered the next closest thing to white, and I don't want to be considered white because I'm not. I have nothing against white people, but I love my race. 100%, and I have no problem with that. And I grew up hearing the, you're not black, or you're half black.
Did that bother you?
Absolutely. Because one of the things that was said in that video is something that I've experienced firsthand, and that's what the girl said was, growing up being a light-skinned black person, you experience more racism from your own race than you do from other races.
Right.
Because they look at you as, well, you're not really black.
You're
Understand what really black is.
What is really black?
In slavery times, you would have been a slave. So would I. The only difference is you might have been in the field.
Absolutely.
And I might have been in the house. And that's because of light skin.
And that's what y'all
So here's
saw.
the problem with that. And I mean, no offense to anyone, but if the shoe fits, wear it.
Oh.
White people came in
Alright.
and took blacks and turned us into slaves.
Okay.
And they found a way to divide us as people within our own race by saying, well, you're dark skinned, you're light skinned. So they made the dark skins envy the light skins already. Put that in them because, well, they're treated better than we are. So yeah, you're a slave, but you didn't get it as hard. That doesn't mean that I still didn't get lashed. That doesn't mean that things weren't. Only difference is I was in the house and you were in the sun. Only difference is I was probably being forced to have a child by this man that I didn't want to have a child by and forced to raise. Like, okay, we were treated better because we were done wrong differently. And they found a way to divide us. And all of these years, now that slavery is over, we're taking that divide and still letting that hold us back. Instead of saying, you know what, they are letting black people get certain roles. We're saying, yeah, but it's not the right blacks. We need the dark-skinned blacks. We would have never had a role, period.
So
we're getting somewhere.
So be thankful for what we have.
I will never say that.
Okay.
Because I feel like that could be the most disrespectful
But you feel like
thing.
you're settling?
Yes.
Okay.
And I will never say to settle. But don't hold it against a light-skinned black person for being light-skinned either. Because I didn't choose to be born this way. And as a matter of fact, from the question that you asked me about did it bother me growing up, and you even seen some of it firsthand. Do I go to the beach to get in the water?
Then you go get darker.
I go tan.
Right.
Growing up, my entire life, I've never really been a swimmer. I can't do it. It's not a secret.
Right.
I like to tan. I would always try to get darker than what I was because I would be so tired of hearing people say, you're not black. And the only time I would ever be recognized as black is during the summer when I had a tan. But the winter time came and the snow fell and my skin tone lightened up and no, I couldn't be black anymore. Or people will have to say stuff like, oh, let me see your hair. Oh, well, you kind of have black lips. Well, why does any of that matter? You understand?
Because at the end of the day, I feel like the people in power, and the majority of the time, the people in power are light-skinned people, or white people, or whatever you want to call it. And I feel like with that being said, for some reason, me personally, I have a problem with that. And I always have a problem with that. And I always said, yo, why is there never this amount of black people in this position? You know what I'm trying to say? Why never anyone of my color in this position? And
you see, what you just said? Why is there not anyone of my color in this position? Let me ask you a question. Let's say it wasn't just the two of us sitting here. Let's say there was 20 of us. And the 20 of us represented the black community as a whole.
okay,
Right? Now let's say out of the 20, only 5 of them were light skinned. 15 of them are dark skinned. And they all have jobs, but these 5 seem to be getting a better job
okay,
because their skin tone was lighter. So in political, you know, they're the ones that's making it to Congress. They're the ones getting the seats.
Right.
While the other ones can't really get into the political, like they're running, but they're not getting elected. And then they start saying, oh, why is it only that the dark skins being held back and the lights are getting forward? Let me ask you this. When those 5 light skins make it, are they only fighting for light-skinned black people? Or are they not fighting for the race as a whole? But yet you try to oppress us because we shouldn't be getting those things and considered black, even though we are.
Who's the one oppressing?
Blacks itself. The darker skin.
Okay, well, I feel like that can go a lot of ways. And I feel like when those light-skinned people get to that position, are they helping other people get up there too as well? And I feel like sometimes they probably turn their back up on them and say, well, I'm here now, fuck y'all. I'm gonna keep it moving. Worry about yourself later. You know what I'm trying to say?
Okay, so let me ask you
And I feel like, what?
Does dark-skinned blacks get into better position and not do the same? So let's keep this political, because if you say that, then we open up the floodgates. In political terms, if Democrats and Republicans, let's say the Democrats were the blacks and the Republicans were the whites, and 5 blacks made it, but they're light-skinned black and they're still fighting for rights.
Of course.
Are they only gonna want rights for light-skinned blacks, or are they gonna fight for the whole race as one?
Absolutely, but
So why try to hold them back because of their skin tone when letting them move forward might just be the door that we need open to let the rest of us come forward? Because they're looking at us as, you're the closest thing. You're like, okay, well, give me that opportunity so I can give them that opportunity.
all right, well, I'm not gonna lie to you. In my personal opinion, I feel when it comes to political,
Because you said you have an issue with them all being white.
not more so in the political thing. You know what I'm trying to say? I feel like when you're political, I feel like white people can fight for black people too as well. You know what I'm trying to say? It's a plus when one of us absolutely make it to the ultimate White House. Is dope. One of the most awesome things I've seen in my lifetime. You feel me? Was seeing Barack Obama in the White House. And now we're talking about colorism. A lot of people was like, oh, he's not really black. He's white. And there lies a problem. Like, I keep asking a lot of people, like, what the fuck does it mean to be black? So yeah, you had sex with a white woman, or whatever the case is. But that don't change who the fuck you are. That shouldn't change who your child is either. Yeah, your child is white, but he's also black. You know what I'm trying to say? And I feel like that's divide. Why is there any fucking divide in the first place?
Well, that goes back to what I said earlier.
And that's annoying as fuck.
That divide was put there during slavery, and we are still using that.
But
And that's a problem.
But we as black people, you know what I'm saying, and that's the issue, bro. Like, I don't, man, I'm not gonna lie, I want to be light skinned when before, whatever the case is. And the only reason why I wanted to be light skinned was because I feel like being light skinned gets you more girls.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm trying to say? So, and I think that leads to a lot of the bleaching that is going on.
So that brings us to self-love and bleaching.
You feel what I'm trying to say? Like, a lot of people is bleaching. Like, especially in Jamaica, my homeland. You feel me? They're bleaching. And I look at them like, whoa, they look like duppy. They look white as fuck. And I'm like, yo. But then on the flip side, to us, that's crazy and that's wild and disgusting. But the females love that shit. You feel what I'm trying to say? So it's like, as dark-skinned man, damn, bro, he getting all the bitches. I want some females too. I'm gonna start bleaching my skin too. So is that self-love, or do you just want what you're not getting? You feel what I'm trying to say? Because if you're not...
See, you can't truly have self-love when it comes to acceptance of your race, which, I'm sorry, it shouldn't have to be something you accept.
Yeah.
Because you should automatically love whatever and whoever you are. So when you ask that question, I look at it like this. I'm a light-skinned black, you're dark-skinned.
Absolutely. I love my skin now.
If I was a male, to go ahead and match your scenario that was getting a lot of females.
Yeah, all the hoes like Chris Brown.
And you got one or two chicks, and you look at him and you say, well, wow, the difference between me and you is I'm light and you dark.
Mm-hmm.
So because you light, that's what's getting this. All right, well, if you loved yourself for who you were, that includes your image. And see, this goes a long way, not just with race, because this goes with women with makeup too. Okay? So when I say self-love, I'm specifically talking image. We can't control, I mean, apparently we're finding ways through bleaching. We can't control our color, at least not the one we're born with,
Right.
until we go and alter it.
Right.
So if I say, I love myself, but I want this, and I think the only way I can get this is by changing who I am. There's two questions there. Did I really love myself? And the people that I am chasing after, do they really love me? Because this isn't me. This is who I made myself so that you would like me. Why should I have to change who I am to make people like me?
Because it gets me further in life.
Are you really
Some
getting
people,
further in life if
saying-
you're faking it?
Yeah.
How?
What?
If you're not really happy.
Fake it to make it, nigga.
But if you're not really happy, and I mean truly happy, because we're talking about self-love. How is that self-love if you're faking it the whole way?
I feel like at one point you have to fake it, dog. I'm not saying being black or white or whatever the case, but I feel like just in certain aspects of life, when it comes to certain things you may not like or certain things you may not do, whatever, bro. Okay, at least it's really good. I may not like my job, but it does me well. So I'm finna go over for right now until I find something different. You feel me? So something you gotta make sacrifices for what you want in the end. That's what Hollywood perceive as beautiful. Like, you don't really see a lot of dark skinned people popping. Maybe now, absolutely now. You feel what I'm trying to say? But before, not really. And then when they feel like they were being held back because they don't have the look that they're looking for, or the image that other people are looking for because they're too dark. You feel what I'm trying to say?
Growing up, I used to get teased a lot because the type of men that I was into. I was into really dark-skinned men. Okay? And everyone would be like, you have all of these light-skinned dudes and pretty boys and whatever. But I was only attracted to black men, and I mean black. Some of them you call purple. They weren't the most attractive people, but it was their skin tone that I was attracted to. So when you say that, oh, they're attracted to light skin, I could never see myself. I mean, I've done it once or twice, but that is not what attracts me. And if I feel that way, how many other women do you not, like, where do you think the term the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice?
Nah, man.
But instead of waiting for someone that's actually going to appreciate you and love you for you, you're trying to alter yourself to make others happy. But are you really happy?